Earlier, I talked about this shelf in my office, which has some older computer books that I like to keep. And I also like to point out this shelf in my office, which has older software that I've kept. So I have here the version of WordPerfect that I bought, and I forget when I bought this. This is back when you could buy software, and it came with a manual. And then this collection here, and it starts really over here on the left, with the technical reference guide for the IBM PC, the guide to operations, the DOS technical reference. And then I have all these versions of DOS, so 3.1, 3.2, 3.3. This is 4.0, 4.1, and the Microsoft Mouse Manual. So back in the 1980s, I worked at a computer book publishing house, and I worked on this book, Learning IBM Basic for the Personal Computer by David A. Lee. Now, I actually wrote some of the stuff in this book, primarily the appendices at the end, where we talk about file management. So I wrote that part of the book when this book was updated. The publishing house had an IBM PC. It was an original IBM PC, the 5150 model that had the cassette player port on the back, which is pretty cool. Anyway, they didn't need it anymore as the IBM clones were coming out, the PC clones. So they bought the cheap clones and they sold, or I purchased, the original IBM PC for myself. And I used it for a while. And I got these books, the technical reference manuals, as part of that purchase. One of the interesting things about the technical reference manual, which I have here, is that it contains the BIOS. How the BIOS, here's the cassette port in the original PC, how the BIOS worked. And they did this so that people could write software and create hardware for the IBM PC, which led to its popularity. It was all documented in here. In fact, this here is the source code written in 8086 assembly for the original IBM PC BIOS. The success of the early IBM PC was because it was well documented, and they wanted people to write software for it. They wanted people to create hardware for it, and this success worked because today, majority of the computers on the planet are based on that original design and that full documentation. Transparency is fun. Now, the people who made the clones, they didn't look at that directly. They disassembled it. They reverse engineered it. And so what you're using today is not that original BIOS. You're using something that was reverse engineered. Anyway, I always think this is cool, and that's why I kept this stuff. I hope that you have a wonderful day.